Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering the woke insanity. California has just started a race-based missing persons program called the EBONY Alert. And yes, it is just for black people. You can't be any other race to get one of their new fancy EBONY alerts. Don't they already have missing person alerts in California? Yes, they have them in every state. Of course they do. In fact, the Amber Alert program is international now. States have different rules on under what conditions do you get an Amber Alert notice. It applies to different situations, but for Amber Alerts, it's for anyone of any race, as opposed to EBONY Alerts that are only for black people. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Coming from the Daily Mail, backlash as California rolls out EBONY Alerts to report and find missing black women and children, with critics saying some people will ignore them altogether. A new alert for missing black women and children in California is receiving backlash, as some critics say that it will embolden people to ignore the messages. Why people would ignore the messages, I don't know. Maybe they're going to do them a lot more frequently than Amber Alerts. In fact, Amber Alerts, once they come out, can sometimes be discontinued very quickly. Well, the Amber Alert is meant to work for a short time after the abduction. So if no evidence has been found or no calls have come in with information, then they sometimes cancel the Amber Alert in some situations. The so-called EBONY Alert, signed into law Monday by Governor Gavin Newsom, is a completely separate notification system from the already existing Amber Alert. Authored by State Senator Stephen Bradford, many online have called the new law, which goes into effect January 1st, a new kind of segregation. Because of course you're segregating one race separately from other races. That is segregation. The alert will be used for black people between the ages 12 and 25 and notifies law enforcement and California Highway Patrol to search for the individual. Bradford and other supporters say they hope it will provide equity to cases of missing black people by encouraging the media to report on their disappearance. Despite the good intentions, social media users say the distinction is a way for authorities to decide how fast they want to respond. According to the bill's language, the now law is aimed at helping to track down young people of color who have disappeared in California. The EBONY Alert is not the same as an Amber Alert, which have been around for more than 2 decades to locate missing persons. Rather, the new system will highlight minorities who often do not get as much attention both from the media and police when they go missing. Well, you see the difference when white girls go missing and black girls go missing. Becky Akias, founder of Voice of the Youth, told CBS News. The sense of urgency is not there. Bradford agrees, saying the bill's original intention was to deal with cases and expand upon the current system in place for missing persons. Quote, African Americans, whether they're children or young adults, are often listed as runaways, Bradford, who represents the Gardenia area, said. While Amber Alerts only go up to children 17 and under, the EBONY Alert will cover anyone 25 years or younger who happens to be black. Black youth who are considered at risk or those with mental issues will qualify, and the alerts can use technology like roadside signs and electronic notifications. Quote, with this, the attention, the need, the urgency, I feel will be met, and it's going to be a game changer, Akias said in an interview. What this is going to address is that a lot of youth are runaways. They do leave. They don't want to be tracked down. So now, young people of a specific skin color, if they decide to run away, or if they decide to leave, or if they do get in some kind of trouble or fall in with the wrong crowd, now the police are going to be commanded to go look for them for as long as they decide to keep the EBONY Alert going. Unlike the Amber Alert, who knows how long it's going to go on for. This may become a regular feature on the highways in California, where they're constantly publishing these EBONY Alerts every time someone goes missing. Online, the reaction to the new law was not well received. Quote, I'm on the fence about this. I don't see civilians or police putting in an extra effort because of the alert saying a child of color is missing, one person wrote. While many applauded the intention behind the act, most social media users said it will create a dangerous standard and could potentially lead to more issues. Quote, this is actually insulting. The Amber Alert was named after a child, Amber, and was designed for all missing children, one woman wrote. Creating an EBONY Alert puts an emphasis on race of the child instead of the actual fact the child is missing. I'm so disgusted with this world. Others voiced their support for the measure, hoping that it would help to shed light on the epidemic of missing people of color. This also helps them go find people who are runaways and are homeless. But of course, only if they are a specific skin color. Quote, it's sad that we have to have a separate system for us because of how the current system views black and brown people, another Instagram user shared. Needless to say, it's great this is being implemented. Should be rolled out nationwide. A lot of resources are going to go into this. Quote, the requirements for an Amber Alert can make it difficult to get one issued. I'm glad another safety net was created as too many children are deemed runaways and never have an alert issued, a third person added. And they're right, because there are some high standards for an Amber Alert. For example, in Illinois, which is different than New York, law enforcement must first confirm a child has been abducted. The child must be under the age of 16 or have a proven mental or physical disability. Law enforcement must believe the child is in danger of serious bodily harm or death. They don't deal with custody disputes, and they certainly don't deal with people running away or becoming part of a gang or anything like that. And really, with this going up to age 25, it goes way beyond somebody reaching the age of 18 and really becoming an adult. Prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump shared the news on the bill signing into law on Instagram on Tuesday, calling it a good thing for missing black people. Quote, the next promising step to help find our missing youth, Crump wrote on Instagram. Crump's followers were less sure about the new law, however. Quote, I don't like this. I feel like it makes it easier to disregard our kids, one person wrote. This only reinforces the other and is insulting, another shared. Others were in celebration alongside the attorney, saying they believe it will help to address a systematic issue that has gone on for too long. Quote, after watching Black Girl Missing, all states should adopt this law for our brown and black babies and teen, wrote one person in a comment under Crump's post. Quote, it's a start. Sad we have to make new laws to protect the so-called citizens of this nation, another wrote. It absolutely appears that sure, certain races are at risk for certain things, but how are you going to have alerts that address every race's concerns? And really, how you can justify going after young people up to age 25? That are actually adults? So if your 22-year-old son decides to leave the house and go live a different life and doesn't want to talk to you, you're going to have an EBONY Alert for him? An adult? Some of this doesn't make much sense to me. I don't think we should have race-based alerts that order the police to go hunting people, especially when it's a different system than the Amber Alert. We could use more resources for the Amber Alerts, or maybe even come up with another system, but to have one race-based doesn't make any sense. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.